Hi everybody, BionicDance here. So, first of all, forgive my appearance. I more or less just woke up, but I get a lot of people telling me that some of my best videos, some of my best thoughts come from a just woken up state. So I'm gonna make this video from that. But as you know, I've reignited my whole you believe or you don't thing, and there are certain arguments that I hear that honestly I do not understand. I mean, like, a lot of the time when people argue against my position, they will make arguments where I go, I totally see where you're coming from. I get your argument. However, here's why it's wrong, and I can lay that out logically, and I can show, you know, here's what defeats your argument. But, you know, at least I understood where they were coming from. Now, there are certain other arguments I get sometimes where they go completely unexplained, and I don't understand where people are coming from. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. None. So, I'm hoping that somebody somewhere who makes these arguments can explain them to me. Because, honestly, I want to understand them. Because when I see them, I can say they're bullshit. I can look at them and I can say that is absolutely asinine. You cannot make that argument because it doesn't fit the facts at all. But maybe what they're saying doesn't mean what I think it means, or maybe they're looking at this whole thing from some other angle that I'm not looking at it from, and I don't know, but I want someone to make it make sense. I'm thinking primarily here of a specific argument, and that is that you have to have heard of God before you can believe or not believe. Or sometimes they say believe or disbelieve. And I do get some people telling me that you have to choose to believe or disbelieve. That if you've never heard of something, you can't choose whether to believe or not believe in it. But the fact is that not believing doesn't have to be a choice. Here's an analogy. A friend of mine makes these naturopathic remedy things, right? Urban Arts. My friend Sunny, she's also the one who helped me make those vanilla bars. Anyway, by the way, hi Sunny, here's some free advertising. But anyway, she makes these salve things, and they're doing construction outside. Forgive me, this is an unedited video. Anyway, so, you don't own one of these. I can pretty much guarantee it, because, well, she has a small business, and I know people in Seattle who's got them, and I'm sure she does some mail order, but, you know, it's a small business just starting out. Most of you have probably the first time you've ever heard of this shit. You don't own one of these, but you've never heard of her. You've never heard of her business, and yet you still don't own one. You didn't choose to not own one. You just don't. And now that you've heard of it, you still don't own one because you haven't gone out and shopped for one. The only way for you to own one is to go out and buy one, or in my case, be given one because you've still got a bit of a rash from falling on your rollerblades that time. You know? So, yeah. It's the same thing with belief. Even though belief is a concept and not an object, until you've heard of God, believing is the one thing you can't do. You've never heard of God, so you don't believe. And then you hear of God, and you still don't believe. But then you get convinced by, you know, religious nut bars, and then all of a sudden you do believe, right? So when people try to say that you have to have heard of God in order to believe, or in order to believe or not believe in God, I'm like, what are you, fucking nuts? That's asinine. That doesn't make any sense. Now, okay, to actively deny the existence of a deity, sure, you have to have heard of one. But to be without belief, no, you know, I'm sure there are gods that have existed since the dawn of time, like some South American, I don't know, like Inca or Mayan god that I've never heard of. You know what I'm not doing with that god? Not believing. That's what I'm not believing in that God. Because I've never heard of it. So how can I believe in it? But there are people out there who will insist, no, you've never heard of it, therefore you cannot believe, you cannot not believe. You are in a neutral null state. What? How can I be in a neutral null state? I've never heard of it, so I can't believe in it. I can't actively deny it either, but I can't believe in it. The only thing that I can think that justifies this position that people are taking, this argument, that I can only think of a couple of things. One is that they genuinely believe that the word disbelieve, and look it up, this is not the case, but if you look up disbelieve, it is not active denial. Disbelieve means not believe. That's what disbelieve means. Look it the fuck up. But I can only assume that people insist that not believing is active denial. I've had some people tell me it's a choice to not believe. Wrong. Not believing is not believing. It's not doing it. The act of believing, you are not doing that. That's what it is. But I can only assume that people who are making this argument think that, or that they are reacting out of some sort of fear. That these were people who were raised with religion, who are terrified of the notion of hell, who are offended at the notion of babies going to hell for not believing, despite the fact that they didn't have an opportunity to do so, and are like, well, then babies have to be in a neutral third state until you learn of God, you're innocent and can't go to hell, and there, that solves that problem. I can only assume that's it. But if that's not it, if it's not either of those two things, if it's not, active disbelief instead of not believing just by default, or if it's not, I'm offended at the notion of innocence and all that, if there is some other way to justify that argument, please tell me what it is. Because I hear this argument all the time and I have never been able to make sense of it. Seriously, never. And I want to understand. I mean, look, a lot of people try to tell me I'm arrogant and shit. This is me admitting ignorance. Now, yes, it's me admitting ignorance and also calling you asinine, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it makes perfect sense and I just don't see it because I'm too fucking stupid over here, right? But maybe not. I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys really are asinine. I'm right on that score, and this argument is bullshit, and hey, me making this video has finally made you see it. I don't know. Like, maybe you trying to justify it to me will make you realize, oh yeah, it doesn't make any sense, does it? I'm hoping that's the case, because, then, hey, look at me, I'm justified. But, either way, this is me humbly saying, make that argument make sense, please. Anyway, until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying, catch you later. And I really shouldn't make videos when I'm half awake. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. And please visit my Zazzle store, where you'll find all kinds of BionicDance merchandise. Ignorance killed the cat. Curiosity was framed.